Hi guys, this is Z-Rave. Welcome to the Million Gold Challenge. In this edition, it's actually the third time I'm doing this challenge. I'm going to try to build the DPS set for a barb. I mean, I'm still going to have some defense in there, but the point is to do as much DPS as I can. And with only 1 million gold, I'm going to try to complete Act 3. So the format I'm going to do is I'm going to do a full act farm of Act 3, and I'm happy with the switching a few, like skipping a few of the packs if I have to, but I want to kill like at least 20 elite packs, and Sidea, and Asmodon, so that would be like the full farm run. If that works well, then I'll try to do some other stuff with the set as well, but the main objective is that. So some people complained about the previous challenge, how I did not consider the Enchantress gear in the challenge, so this time I will also include the Enchantress gear in the 1 million. It's not that hard to buy some stuff for her for I don't know 50k or something. It's not that hard. So I'm gonna do that as well. And I'm gonna get started now. So I'm hitting up the auction house again. Only 1 million budget to buy every single piece of gear. My guy's already ready here, so I'm gonna start looking for. I'll start out with a weapon. I guess it's a good place. Maybe I want to spend less than 200k, but I'll give that an option there. So let's see everything that's less than 200k, and I'm going to be trying to do a crit hit damage strategy. So I'm going to ask for some crit hit damage. I'm not going to look for a socket because making the gem would be too expensive. So I'm hoping to find some weapons that have natural crit hit damage, something like this, right? But maybe I can find something that it has good stats on it as well. So this mace here is already looking alright. Has some life after kill. And a little bit of attack speed, 70% crit damage. That's definitely a good place to start. Just gonna double check down here. Maybe how much does the DPS drop if I ask for vitality? I definitely want to get a mace or an axe. So okay, so if I go down here, I can get 150 vitality. If I don't ask for vitality, I can get another 100 DPS on the weapon. That's actually a difficult choice. So I'm going to consider this carefully here. Is there anything else that I could get instead? Now you know what? I'm going to go for that big mace. I think that the 70% crit hit damage is going to make a difference here. So I'm gonna pick this up for 200k. Alright, so my next item, I'm going to look for a shield. So let's go to an offhand here. I know that I want crit chance. And I know that it's going to be very hard to get a sacred shield. So I'm gonna check them all out. Maybe there's something good. But if I have to go down to a dread shield, that's totally okay with me, especially if it means getting a lot of stats on it. So, okay, this one has 9% crit and a 4% life. Okay, I'm going to keep looking around here. This one is not too bad, has a 20% crit, or 20% block and 9.5 crit. Oh, 10% life and 9 crit. That's not bad. What else do I got? I'm hoping that some of the dread shields. Let me actually filter by price so I have some sort of structure to this search. Now I also need to lower this crit chance to 8 if I want to see the dread shields, which I will. It's totally possible to get like a whole bunch of good stats on a dread. Okay, so this one has a decently high block chance and vitality for 90k. That's not bad at all. What else can I get here? Okay, so that's a 20% with a crit for 100. Alright, so yeah, so there's several shields in here that I would consider for the purposes of this of this challenge, but I'm gonna go down to 8 here, so I get to see the dread shields, and then I'm gonna hope that I can find one that has lots and lots of stats. So it would probably be rare in order to have lots of stats, but that's okay because people really undersell these dreads. As you can see, this is like 5k. I can probably find something really sweet in here. I'm gonna ask for some vitality on this. Actually, let me search for life percentage first, because if I can get a high life percentage and then a bunch of other stats on it, it might be really good. Okay, so something like this already, 11% life. That's kind of what I'm looking for, but I want to have additional stats on my shield. Okay, this one here for 45k, this is really nice. The 12% life and the vitality. I think this is my favorite so far, but I'm going to keep looking. Okay, 13% life. Strength. Yeah, but the block one on that is too low. This one had a 17. That 17 is going to make a difference. Okay, 20 with some regen. Actually, this one seems really nice too. Physical resist, life percentage, some strength, and it's a sacred. For 65k, that's not bad. However, I'm going to keep looking. I'm hoping to get the best deals that I can on every slot, so I can't be too hasty. This one has a nice amount of strength, but the block chance is way too low for this, I think. Okay, 12% life and vitality and a socket for 80. This is very nice as well. It's a very nice shield. What else do we have? I'm hoping for that ridiculous one that has a whole bunch of good stuff. And I think I found some that are really nice already, but they're like none of them really stood out over the others, so I might as well keep looking. Okay, this one here, 20 chance to block. Physical resist, 14% life, and crit chance. This is the kind of stuff I was talking about. Several stats. Also has the nice 20% to block. So, yeah, I like the previous one better. So can I get anything else on top of that? Can I get something even better? It's not looking to be the case. So far I like that one for 100k the best. Yeah, these are not too different, but they're also more expensive, right? I think since I spent so much on the weapon, maybe I should scale down here a bit and pick up that shield. Yeah, I'm gonna do that then. I'm gonna pick up the 100k shield. This guy here. So that's in. So I'm at 300k now. Spent. And I'm gonna look at the rest of the gear. Okay, so far I have a little bit of percent life. I'm gonna try to get more of that on my gear. Very low on stats, but I am doing the crit damage, crit chance strategy reasonably well. I think I have a good amount here already, and my weapon is 70%. That's going to help a lot. So I'm going to keep looking then, and my next piece will actually be my chest. I want to see if I can get something with life percentage and a lot of vitality and some strength. So let's do a search like this. Okay, so that didn't work out. I think it's because this strength is too high, and I also can probably afford to drop down this vitality to 140. I don't think the problem is the life percentage. So, but let's check it out. Okay, so now I have a bunch of chess pieces. I'm trying to find the one that has a bunch of empty sockets because the guy didn't bother filling them out. Because that's where I'm gonna get a lot of my value when I'm doing the shopping here. Okay, so I already have one here. This is very nice, I think. It has the socket and percent life. I might be able to find something with more stats. I'm going to keep looking. Just for valuation purposes, I value each percent life as 10 vitality, and I mean between the socket and the stats, this has like 250 stats. I try to look for more, but yeah, I'm getting some added benefit here for sure from the melee attacks reduction and physical resist. Okay, so what else do we have? It seems that I'm already up to 200k here. I'm not getting anything much better. Can I try to do a different search that will give me something better than this chess piece? I don't know. This one seems quite alright. Okay. So it seems like the socket is kind of made up for on this one by the higher base stats. So the life percentages are the same, and then I have some armor and regen compared to reduced damage from melee and physical. It's also 50k cheaper. I think that should factor in. I might go for this one here on the just on the price basis. I want to get the cheaper version, I think. I was hoping I could get something a little bit better, but I think for now this thing here for 50k, this will do. So let's pick that up. Oh, well, no, it's gone. Okay. And this is why I added a delay to the stream. It's fine. That's no big deal. So I'll just pick up the 100k one instead. It's been a little bit more than I wanted to, but that's fine. So I'm now at 400k, and I've only gotten 3 pieces. I'm kind of going through my budget really quickly, and I'm going to look for some pants. Similar thing on the pants, except I probably want higher stats. I think I can get some higher values here. Maybe some 180 vitality. Actually, you know what? I think the pants will be a great slot for me to try to round out the set. So I'm going to go for the other pieces next. My objectives for the bracers is to get all resistance and some crit chance, and on top of that, some stats. And I'm probably not going to be able to get both strength and vitality, but that's totally fine. I want a high amount of all resist and a high amount of crit chance if I can. So let's see what comes up. Alright, so I do have quite a few, and I'm hoping that one of these will also have some bonus stats for me. Something like, yeah, this is quite expensive already. Maybe I have to drop this down to 3. Let's try again. Can I find any that have strength? Okay, there's one here with a bit of strength, but nothing else really. Can I find one that has vitality? Yeah, there is one. It's also not very good. It does have the health pickup radius, which I'm going to have to find somewhere. I don't know if this is the spot where I want it to be, though. Okay, so I think my problem here is I'm asking for all resisted is too high. I'm going to drop down to 51, and I'm putting the 1 in there so that I won't get any pieces from the previous tier. That will save me some browsing time here. Okay, so something like these here would be perhaps more ideal. Now I'm looking for the one that has high vitality and maybe even some strength, or if not strength, then at least some other stuff that I could use. Okay, so this for 50k, that's not too bad. Okay, here I have a little bit of physical. I think I got some physical on my shield already. Yeah, and some on my chest. So physical is not a huge priority right now, but it's always nice, right? I do think that I need to drop down on the price a bit, especially paying that extra 50K for the chess piece kind of hurt my budget. So I gotta be careful here and not spend too much. Okay, I'm going for vitality instead of strength because I think that the like having a DPS stat on top of a piece that has a DPS crit chance ability, like that makes it more attractive for someone that's looking for DPS. I think the vitality crit chance is a little bit more disjointed, so um, I wouldn't have as much trouble trying to pick one up. Okay, so I'm going to try with the strength anyway, just in case. I can always make up for the stat somewhere else. Okay, so this one here is already a very nice start for 9K. It has the health pickup that I need to get somewhere. And it also has some reasonably high stats. So actually, I might be able to get a better deal going for strength on this one. I definitely want to make sure I'm getting a good mix of stats. I don't want just the three that I searched for. I'm looking for the one that's going to have the fourth and the fifth stat that benefit me the most. And health pickup radius is one that I'm looking for. You can also have reduced damage from melee attacks. That's also interesting. I think this one here for 50 is not too bad. I think I might end up doing this one here because it has the health pickup. It's interesting enough without the health pickup, but then when you add the health pickup on top, suddenly it's becomes quite attractive. I'm gonna look through the rest here. Maybe there's a piece with even more stats. Yeah, the price is slowly going up and the pieces are not getting any better. I'm gonna go back here and pick up this that one there for 50. Alright, so that means I'm 450K in, and I've only gotten 4 pieces so far, so the rest of the budget's gonna have to be quite narrow there, but that's okay. So I'm gonna look for some gloves next. I also want crit chance on the gloves, but I want a slightly higher percentage. But other than that, same strategy. I might be able to get some really good gloves because people have been crafting a lot, and like the ones that are not super nice, kind of clogging up the auction house, right? So let's take a look. I'll be sure to search for both strength and vitality when I'm doing this search. I also like that I already got my pickup radius piece. That kind of, it's like one less thing I need to worry about. You need at least one of those in your gear so that when you're fighting a pack and just DPSing, you don't want to have to move around to get the globes that drop around you from the monsters you're killing. And that way you can continue to do DPS while healing naturally without having to move. And I mean, sometimes you're blocked and you can't move, or sometimes the globes are underneath a mob and you can't pick it up. Okay, so there seems to be too many gloves, so I think I might need to increase the search. I'm going to try to go for 7 crit and 61 on resist. Okay, that only gave me 1. Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for though. It doesn't have the 4th and the 5th stat that's helping me. That's definitely the key for shopping on a budget. You want to get slightly lower numbers on the main stats, but then you gain some benefits from things you weren't really looking for. How about vitality? No, vitality made it too expensive. Oh, but that one's nice. Look at that. 146 vitality, 8 crit. Okay, so I'm gonna have to make a decision on these gloves. It seems that the resist is causing a problem, so I'm gonna lower that back. And maybe I can actually just do a search with a higher strength amount. But not necessarily this piece, but this is kind of what I'm talking about. Like, it has the 3 stats that I searched for, and it's also giving me dex and int. You shouldn't ignore those. I value int as 1-to-1 with armor, so seeing a little bit of int on a piece is kind of like seeing a little bit of armor. It's not the best deal, but and also dexterity is even better than int in that respect because the dodge actually matters. Okay, so this one here is sold. It has the health pickup and stuff, but it also has a whole bunch of other stuff. Arcane resist is one of the resists that I value. So, okay, I'm gonna lower the resist requirement further. Maybe I need to bring this down to 6.5. I find that people will search a lot for 7 or 6, but 6.5 is not as frequent, and you might be able to get some much better deals that way, like that, right? But if I can find something that is kind of like that, except that it's much better in terms of the other stats. If I could find something with strength and vit, I would instantly buy it, I think, at this point. Okay, well, not quite this. The vitality is only 36, and the poison resist is also not what I'm looking for. But something like that. So doing the broken search on the 48 instead of 50, same deal with the crit chance. I'm getting, as you can see, most of these pieces have 48 or 49. They're much cheaper than a piece that has 50 resist for some reason, just because, you know, people search for 50, not for 48. So you're able to get find the pieces that are a lot cheaper that way, just because they're not being seen by the buyers. Alright, so this is, yeah, I'm not quite finding a good deal on the gloves just yet. I'm going to try for vitality just one more time. Maybe there's a really good piece that I could use around here. But I might have to come back to the gloves after I know more specifically what I'm looking for. Okay. So several of these are really close, but I'm looking for that one that's the really good deal. That one's close, but not quite. Okay. I'm actually gonna break off from the gloves for a little bit, and I'm gonna search for other pieces. If I know exactly how much I want to spend on the gloves, I can actually do a better job of finding what I need. So I've done the bracers, chest, weapon, and shield. I'm gonna try for helm next. I probably want a socket just because of how strong the socket is, and then I'm also going to do a life percentage search. Actually, I can do that directly, actually. If I search for life percentage 13, that's only going to show me the chest piece, or the helms that have a socket, and life percentage naturally. No one's going to put in a big craft a gem to put it in a helm that's under 200k, right? That's probably not going to happen, so this will show me all the helms that have sockets. I might need to do a search without it later, just because some people don't socket their helmets. But I think I want all resist on my helmet if I can manage it, and either strength or vit. That would be okay. So there's nothing here. Maybe I need to lower this all resist, and also I might need to. Oh, someone actually crafted the big gem. This is almost worth picking up just because of the gem. Like the gem costs 30,000 to craft plus some tomes, and I think the tomes might be a few K too. Like 40K for this is kind of a joke. Alright, so yeah, it looks like actually my plan completely backfired. Some people are crafting gems to put in their sockets. I guess this is like replacement helms or something, but I totally would have pulled out the gem before listing it. So, okay, so that didn't work out. I'm going to do a search for having a socket then, and I'll resist, and some strength. And let's see what shows up. Okay, so for 1K, yeah, that's not really what I want though. Okay, this one here, 10K. So I think I can afford to be a little bit bolder on my search here. Maybe I want to bring back the 55. Okay, the helms are still affordable. I might be able to get a really good deal in here somewhere. Okay, so maybe not with strength. Let me try with vitality. It's also a very nice stat. And some vitality here. Okay, these are a bit too expensive though. I need to cut down on my spending because I still have quite a few pieces to get and only 550k to work with. So I don't want to continue to pick up pieces for 100k if I can avoid it. This one here for 51k is not too bad actually. It's a level 61. I might just end up doing this. Okay, I'm gonna do it for 51k. I know that one of my pieces was 99 earlier, so I'm gonna actually count that as only 50. I'm at 500k right now. Right? I bought something for 99. Actually, no, I didn't. I think that was the piece that got stolen, so I will deal with that 1k then. I've spent 501k and some change. Let's make it 502k. Okay, so not a bad helmet. It covers my dexterity requirement, which I honestly expect to get dexterity in many other pieces, but for 50k, this was a good find, I think. Alright, so that covers 5 pieces. I'm going to look for an amulet next. The amulet is a tricky piece because it can get expensive really quickly. And I still have my rare filter on. I'm always looking to get the pieces that have several stats, and you can only get several stats if you search for rares. At some point I might actually bring this down. I might actually buy 2 amulets, and I'll explain why in a second. But on my amulet, let's see, I have 70% crit damage from my weapon. I'm going to have 50 naturally and 50 from ruthlessness. So I can try to get some crit damage on the amulet. Maybe I can make that work. So let's see what I can get with crit damage and maybe some big stats too, like strength and vitality. Okay, so a whole bunch of them popped up. That's good news. I'll probably have some. This one's not too bad. The first one already for 7k is quite nice, but maybe I can do better. So I'm gonna look for that. Okay, this one has a ton of strength, a lot more strength. That's good too. For only 10k, I'm happy with that. Maybe I should just do this then, and I'll see all the ones that are over 100 strength first, and then I'll turn around, look at all the ones that are over 100 vitality. And maybe between those, I'll find one that has even more things, like some specific resist or armor, or a little bit of life percentage. So, maybe I shouldn't commit on the amulet so quickly on which kind I want to buy. I know that I can't get both crit damage and crit chance on the same one, because that's the search that everyone's doing. But if I can pick up some crit chance and then Yeah, for the price, I think this one is really nice. And there was one here with like life on hit too, or maybe that was on the other search. Hmm. Yeah, how do I want to do this? Okay, so I have 8% from here. I'm going to have 10% from Weapon Master, 5% natural, 5 from Ruthlessness. So I'm already at 28% crit. Actually 31.5% crit. So if I can get that to around 40% with the gloves, which I think I can, just under 40%, and then yeah, I'll probably be better off at that point with crit hit damage on the amulet. What can I get with stats like that? This is not bad. I think the combination of the two stats plus the arcane resist is nice. This one also has around 200 stats plus high arcane resist, and the crit damage is a little low, but that shouldn't be a huge deal. This one's very similar to that. Oh, this one's nice. Fire resist. I'm kind of short on fire right now, and the combo of stats is huge. It's a huge amount of stats there. For only 55k, I think I could do a lot worse. So I'm going to look just a little bit further here, but it's already getting expensive, right? And they're not getting much better. So I'm actually going back and I'm going to pick up this one for 55k. Okay, so that puts me at 557k spent. Still have a lot to work with. That's good. I think I've pretty much locked myself into getting gloves with crit hit chance. So I'm going to go back and try to find one. Maybe I can widen the search though in terms of what I'm looking for. So I'm going to go crit hit chance and all resist. Say 55. Let's go 53 here just to be a weird number. And hopefully I'll see a whole bunch of gloves, and some of them are going to have some nice stats on top of what I'm looking for that will help me a lot. So what if I just tried even higher here? Can I do that? Apparently I can. Okay. Because I'm kind of concerned about how I don't have very many pieces with the resist yet, and I'm definitely going to have a certain requirement on that front. If the poison were something else, I'd jump on it. I think that dexterity and intelligence are really undervalued in terms of like the benefit it will give me. Like huge numbers of dexterity and intelligence do matter. So I would have loved to pick up one of those. But yeah, I'm getting too expensive here, so I think I need to bring this back down. I'm going to bring it down to 57. And maybe I can just do a search for one more stat on here. If I try to add crit damage, I'm almost certain this will push it out. Yeah, so any amount of crit damage pushes the glove out of the range that I want to spend. I think any amount of attack speed would do the same. So I cannot get those stats, but I should be able to get a healthy chunk of strength or vitality on it. Cold resist, I don't really care about. Poison resist. Okay, this one here, I'm constantly looking at that one because it has a high resist all and some strength and the crit chance that I need. But Yeah, this is tough. I think the problem is the 7. I'm gonna go down to 6.5. That should give me some breathing room here. I'm gonna say I want at least 55 strength. Yeah, between these two, I actually like that one better. I'm willing to sacrifice 0.5% of crit chance for some physical resist, but okay. So yeah, I'm not seeing enough gloves. I'm gonna keep bringing this down a bit. Still waiting for that really good deal. Okay, you know what? This one here actually is pretty sweet. The arcane resist will help me out. I think I picked up some fire on the last piece that I had. So those would combine to give me a big chunk of resist all. And for only 25k, that's a steal. Okay. I need to make my decision quickly on that one. Okay, do I want to spend 100k for this? Or 25k for that? It's not an easy question. I lose armor and about 12 all resists. I lose 6 strength. But the price difference is significant. Yeah, I don't think I'm making too much progress on this front. I'm kind of concerned about how much money I've already spent. So I'm going to pick up this one for 25k. Okay, so I already bought quite a few pieces. I'm going to send this to my stash and equip it. And that way I can figure out what my weaknesses are, what I need to work on. It's always a good like reality check to make sure I'm on track here. Okay, so all right. The first thing I'm noticing is even though I'm missing a whole bunch of pieces, my vitality and strength might be a little bit behind schedule here. My crit chance, this is going to become, I'm going to drop that. I want to get some weapon master in here. So I am already at 219 crit damage and 38% crit with 9k DPS, even though I'm missing 6 pieces of gear. My resists are low, but I think I managed to balance out the ones I care about. The physical resist is already at 290, and I'm still going to get some on my boots, at shoulders, and belt. So I think I'm going to be able to round this out quite nicely. Not too worried about the resist right now. And I need to scale up my damage. Let's see, how can I do that? An 8 here, 6.5. Okay, so 10, 18, plus 20 from style. Okay, so 38. I don't really get crit chance anywhere else except maybe on a ring. So I think I might want to get one piece here. Maybe I can get one ring with crit chance and one ring with crit hit damage so I can push both of these up. And I do need to at least double my strength, which should be easy considering I still have to pick up belt and shoulders. I'm not going to be able to bring in any defensive passives, however. But that's okay. Alright, so let's get out of here. I'm going to look for some shoulders and a belt next. My vitality is way too low. I think I probably made a mistake grabbing bracers and gloves to add strength. I probably should have tried to get one with strength and one with vitality. So I'm going to have to make up for that. on the other pieces that are remaining. Okay, so looking for shoulders, I usually want to get a huge amount of strength on shoulders, and I also want to get a healthy amount of all resists. So yeah, I don't want to spend that much, so let's bring this down. And what can I get under this? Can I add vitality at all? Would that push me out of the game? Yes, it would. Any amount of vitality pushes me out, so I can't do that. I also cannot get life percentage, which is quite distressing. What can I do instead? I need to work on my health, and I'm only going to get... Maybe I need to look at the pants first, figure out the biggest vitality pants I can get to make up for the fact that I haven't been getting a lot of vitality on my pieces. So I'm gonna do that. Let's go for vitality 160 and has sockets. So I'm looking for the ones that don't have the filled out sockets. Okay, so this first one here already for 1,000 gold is this is kind of what I'm looking for, except better. So if I can get some pants that are like a lot better than this, but not too much more expensive, that would be kind of what I'm interested in. Okay, this one's nice as well. Has the double empty sockets. 188. So yeah, I think I'm going to be able to make up for the vitality gap that I'm currently experiencing. Can I do all resist on top? Well, I guess the real question is, can I find strength, vitality, all resist socket for less than my budget? Maybe. I only have 418k to buy 6 pieces and equipment for my companion. So, but that's the point of the challenge, is to put the pressure on, turn on the heat, which it is doing right now. Okay, this one, quite nice. Okay, it's showing up too many searches though, so maybe I can afford to not do the strength, or not do the all resist just yet. Maybe I can afford to bring this up even. 180 has sockets with 65 strength. I don't want to be looking at every single pant in the auction house. Well, apparently I can put this even higher, so I'm going to do that. Okay, but now I'm finding the ones that have filled sockets. Okay, this one here has quite a bit of vitality and strength. This might be what I need for 22k. I'm going to think on that. It sucks that it doesn't have the nice extra stats, but I mean, if it's what I need, that's what I need. If I can just get a huge amount of vitality on my pants, then, okay, this one for 30k is not bad either. There's so many of these pants. One of these has to be the perfect one that will get me out of the vitality problem I'm having right now. So I want a huge amount. Huge amount. This is a lot of vitality right here. This is like 300 stat points. It's that's a good amount. It also has some fire resist on the side, which is good for me. This has even more stats. But what this is suggesting to me is that I can actually try to get even more. I might be able to get like more than 350 if I get a good deal here. So this has like 3 something, but no bonus all resist. This has like 320 with bonus fire. What else can I get? This is less. 320. I want to spend less than 100k on this piece, if I can. Oh, this is it. That's it. I'm not even going to look at the rest. That's a lot of stats. That's 370 stats and a huge chunk of vitality, which is exactly what I needed right now. For 60k, I'm at 642k. I still have several pieces to get. I'm going to have to be very careful about that. Okay, so I'm actually going to go in game real quick and equip that. I was quite concerned about the low levels of vitality that I had because the pieces to come still were the shoulders and the belt, which have high strength, and I probably can't get vitality at all. So let me actually socket these up. Well, I'm not going to do that yet, actually, but I can count my stats as having 100 more. So this is actually, if I choose it to be 840 vitality. Okay. Okay, that's good. Actually, pretty happy with how things are turning out so far. I have quite a bit of life percentage. Let's see, 9 here, 14 on the shield. That is 23, plus 12 from the helmet, so I'm set for life percentage. I don't really need to search for much more of it. My health is already 32k before socketing anything, so that's going to go up. I'm going to put this in the helm. I'm definitely not going to craft up on it. So 35k. I want to bring this up to around 50. That's going to require about another 300 vitality maybe. No, 200 vitality. I can get some like 60 on the boots. I can try to get some on the rings, but I don't think it's going to happen over here. And I still have the 3 empty sockets, so I think I'll be able to reach my 50k. My DPS needs to go up a lot. I'm going to work on that next. Okay, so let's go back to the shoulders and the belt. I think I've kind of dug myself out of the vitality hole that I had because I managed to get some pants that are going to have 300 vitality on my pants. That's exactly what I needed. So 52 all resist and a big chunk of strength on my shoulders, please. Well, actually belt and shoulders are essentially the same. They both have the same mod distribution, so the search parameters are going to be exactly the same for me. Max buyout. I definitely don't want to spend more than 100k now. I'm running low on money, so I got to be very careful about what I pick up. Okay, like the first thing that you notice is that all of these belts that are cheap are at 190. That means that people are doing the search for 200 strength. Though with that said, this one looks pretty damn sweet for 60. It has a arcane resist on top and some bonus dex and intelligence. This is actually looking pretty good. I think I can get this and be happy. I think this is this might be what I want. So let me just double check the cheaper ones. Maybe I'll lower the strength requirement to 180. Hopefully there's a lot more things in here. Yeah, so for 180 the price dropped tremendously. But I think I'm still going to get excited about that one with a huge amount of arcane resist on top of the all resists. Yeah, this is still the one I'm excited about. I'm going to pick it up for 60k. That puts me at 702k. I only have less than 300. I still need to buy several pieces and equip my companion. That's going to be a challenge. Let's see, I still need 4 pieces and companion gear for only 300k. I'm really pressured right now, but that's okay. So I might need to actually get some really cheap piece here, so I can have some budget for my rings. I kind of like these for the physical. That first one that had the fire, I think wasn't too bad either. Let me compare these two directly. So that has 36 fire. This has some dexterity on top. Right? Okay, no. It's about the same. Hmm. Can I afford to spend 50k right now? I'm not sure that I can. Okay, I'm gonna come back to the shoulders. I think I have a lot of options on the shoulders, and the difference between 50k and 10k is not that big. So I'm gonna try to get my rings next. And let's see what I can get for rings. So on the rings, I'm gonna choose to get crit chance on one of them and crit damage on the other one. For 2.5 crit chance and maybe some vitality here, what can I get? Okay, a bunch of stuff popped out. That's good. I do want it to make it rare. So let's try to find a really good deal on these rings. There's so many of them. I'm actually going to get greedy here and say all resist, but that's probably going to backfire on me. Like I wouldn't consider any all resist below 35, so that's already out. The second option then is strength, vitality, which I still have quite a few options. I don't think I would be too excited seeing any numbers underneath 45 for these, so let's do that. Alright, so now I think I can actually find some rings that would work well for me. This one has physical resist, something I'm kind of concerned about. So this one here for 35k is not too bad. And actually, thinking about it again, I think my bigger problem right now might be crit damage. So I'm going to do a search for 18 crit damage. 18 crit damage. And I think I can get some really sweet rings this way. I think the crit hit damage on some of these rings it's like completely not taken into account when the guy's pricing the ring. So, I mean, for 20k rings, right? Rings used to be so expensive. Okay, I actually like this one here a lot. The arcane resist and that damage at the top. Never ignore that damage, guys. When you see a thing that's 9 to 18 like that, that's actually a significant DPS increase. I'm going to pick up this one for 21k. But I'm going to look for another one now, another ring with following the same strategy. The reason why I've decided to not worry too much about crit chance is because I'm going to be fighting the enemy packs with Wrath of the Berserker up. So that gives me another 10% crit. I would be at 48%. I think I would get a bigger boost of damage by getting more crit damage at this moment than I would otherwise. So I spent 21k for that ring. I'm at 723k. And that gives me lots of breathing room. I can actually probably afford to spend more money on the second ring because I already got a really cheap one. Okay, so this one was nice. I'm actually going to send that to my bag and equip it as well. I want to The reason I want to do this at this point is because I want to confirm how my balance of specific resist is doing. The ones I care about are physical, fire, and arcane. I don't want to get insta-gibbed by arcane enchanted packs. I don't want to have to skip them. So, alright, it looks like I'm doing a really good job on balancing them. I have 360, 324, and 360. They don't have to be exactly the same. And I'm probably going to be doing this with the Warcry Impunity because I don't think I'm going to get a lot of life on hit. Another thing I'm noticing is that I don't have any health regen or life on hit, and that's going to be an issue. So I'm gonna keep that in mind when I continue to shop. Alright, so my strength and my vitality are starting to look good. I'm going to get a shoulders with around 180 more. My DPS is starting to shape up. It's already at 15k and I still got 3 pieces to go. So I'm going to keep working here. It seems like my armor is ridiculously low, but I'm still going to get 2 pieces, right? Okay. Alright, what do I want to go for next? I think I'm going to look for boots next. I'm going to try to get some balanced ones. Also, I already covered my pickup radius right there. 5 yards. I hope that's enough. I've never actually had one that was only 5. Mine is 7 and it works fine. Hopefully 5 is good enough, or this might be a kind of backfire on me. But yeah, I think 5 is enough. But let's look at boots. So I want to get something that's balanced. So let's say 65 strength, 65 vitality, and 65 all resist. That might push me out of the budget, but I'll lower it as I go. Look no further. I've found my boots. 1 day, 12 hours. I don't want to risk losing that. So I'm at 823k. That means I have very little money to finish out. I'm probably going to have to give my enchantress some really crappy gear. And I also wanted to buy a separate piece, one extra piece, so I can do a second amulet, basically, life on hit for when I need it. Okay, this was a really lucky find, I think. So that has balanced out. My arcane is actually high. My fire is a little low, so I might try to find that on the shoulders. Physical, I'd also like to get, but we'll see what happens. So with the Warcry, I'm actually at around 600 resists on the ones that matter. And my health is at 41k. I still have 3 sockets to work with. That means I might end up putting some of them to strength. We'll see. DPS is at 16, and I can still get a huge chunk of strength from the shoulders, so I'm going to do that next. Alright, so shoulders with 180 strength, and I also want some all resist. 55, let's see what comes up. I think I can afford to spend around 50k on this piece. I can probably gear my enchanters for like less than 100. Maybe 50 even. Like, it's not a big deal, right? Like, as long as my gear set's working, anything I put on her is a bonus. Alright, so strength, all resist, for less than 100k. What do I got? Okay, so I definitely think I want to find something with either fire or physical resist extra. So this one here for 50 is not too bad. The natural resist is also pretty high. Okay, this one has an even higher fire resist, but it sacrifices the intelligence. So I'd actually have to compare these for a bit to see which one I like best. So do I want 66 resist all or 56 with an additional 14 on fire? That seems like an easy decision. It's the first one. That 20 dexterity isn't going to make a big difference for me. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this up for 50. That seems like a good price. 50k. I'm at 873k with only the ring, the second amulet, and the enchantress gear to go. So I'm gonna equip this. I want to fine-tune the last pieces so I'm exactly where I want to be. If I could get a ring that also has physical resist, that would be amazing. My DPS is already approaching 20k, which is where I want it to be. And I'm still going to get a ring in here and the enchantress buff, which gives me, you know, every little bit counts. Let me see what she gives me. Alright. So with the enchantress, I'm already clearing 20k. And with the berserker rage, that means I'm going to have 25% on top of this. That would put me at 25k with berserker. And I still have one more ring to go and 3 sockets I can fill in whichever way I want. My strength is looking nice. My resists are looking nice. Yeah, so my resists now are looking at 730 for the ones that matter. That's gonna be plenty to cover the challenges that I'll face. My armor is at 6k. That's a good amount. I'm very happy so far, and I still have a little bit of money for one last ring. I think my next move here is actually to find that. I'm gonna do that last ring, and I'm gonna see what I can. Actually, first I'm gonna find an amulet. I want to find the second amulet that I might need for certain fights because I don't have any sustain at the moment. If I can find some life on hit, a blue amulet with 400 or so life on hit, right, for like 20k. Can I get something like that? No. How high do I need to go to get 400 life on hit? 100k. That's too much. I'm going to have to bring this down. So let's do 340. Okay, now we're down to 28k. This is kind of the amulet I was looking for. I think 28k is alright. With this ring, I should be able to beat Gom, or with this amulet, I should be able to beat Gom and some other bosses with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up for 28k. Oh, it's gone, man. That's the heartbreak. That is a heartbreak. Okay, so let's lower it. Maybe I can find one that has like poison resist or something on top. This one has regens. That's not bad. Regens is it's not quite the same. 10% life, not quite the same, but okay. Okay, this one has a lot of regen and some life on hit for 25k. I'm gonna do that one instead. So 25k. That means that I am at 898k. I still need enchantress gear, so I can. Let's see, just have an idea how much that would cost me. How much is a ring with just like an intelligence on it? For 10,000. How much is an amulet with intelligence? Can I get 100 intelligence for 10,000? Yes, I can. Well, I still have. I need to get her a weapon, so that might be like. I'll try to get her something. Let's see. I want high intelligence, so maybe 180 intelligence on it. And what can I get for 10k? Okay, I don't want a mighty weapon. I got to do a wizard search for her. Don't want, last thing I know, but she can't use bows either. It has to be an axe. So this here, actually looking pretty good for 10k. I'm gonna do this guy for 10k. She can use axes, I hope. Pretty sure she can. And I need some really crappy rings, so I'm at 908. Okay. Really crappy rings here. What can I get for... Actually, can I find those crappy attack speed... crappy attack speed intelligence rings? Something like this would give her quite a boost, I think. So 5k there. And can I get a, instead of the attack speed, the second one be a huge intelligence, like 120 and nothing else? 90? No, so I'm just going to pick up another one of these. That's totally fine with me. Okay, so 6k for this one here. So let's see. I was at 198 and then I spent 21 on the Enchantress. So that puts me at 919k. I still need an amulet for her. So I'll find that next. If I could find some... Oh, I need the follower special too. Oh man, I hope that one's not too expensive. So 120 intelligence. Okay, that might be too cheap. Can I do 150? 50, maybe that's too much. I'm kind of hurting here. Can I do 130 for like 5? What is this, man? I'm picking that up. 643 gold. I don't know what that guy was thinking. I'm picking it up. And it's mine. Yeah, I'm gonna remove the gem from this and put in a big int gem on it for 643. I'm at 920k. I think that might be the vendor price of this item. No, he gave me a 1 gold discount on the vendor price, so I can turn around and sell this for a profit. Okay, so I still need the follower special. Follower special on the Enchantress. I know I can't go very high. Oh man, I can't get 100? Okay, I can get 100. Can I do 120? No, 110. Yeah, but I don't see the point. I think for a 10 int difference, I'll pick up a 5k one instead. Actually, can I get one that's almost free for 90? Because then that might give me some... Oh, you know what? This is good enough. I'm going to pick that up for 2k. So I'm at 922. Enchantress is complete. I have 78k for my last piece, which is the ring. And I'm actually going to send this all off to the game here. I just want to see how much I got her at. Okay, so Yeah, looking over my stats here. I need to have... I need more vitality. So I think I can go ahead and socket at least the pants with the vitality. Even if the ring has some, I'm gonna... just to see where I'm at 45k. I'd still like a little bit more. That's not enough for my taste, so I'm gonna socket the chest as well. Let's see where I'm at. 46k here. Resist. I think I can fight like this, but if I could find a ring with vitality, that would make it a little bit sweeter. So I think I need a ring with strength, vitality, some crit hit damage, and anything else I can find on it. So that's going to be my search. Strength, vitality, crit hit damage with a 78k limit. Okay. Last piece, rounding out the set. Strength, 65. Vitality, 65. And crit hit damage. What do I got? Max price, 78k. Okay, I'm already excited because there are hits. That means I'm going to be able to get what I want. And all I need to do is pick out the best ring from this batch. I'm going to try to increase this a bit. Alright, which one of these is the best? Okay, this one has armor. That does matter. This one has the plus damage over there, which I like. This one has even more plus damage and a higher amount of stats across the board. So I think that this is our winner here. Okay, this is the winner. I could have spent more time looking for rings. Maybe I could have found one with like more on the, you know, maybe like 100 strength but only 50 something vitality, but that's okay. This ring did the job I wanted it to.